One of the fundamental tenets of Java object-oriented programming is the open-close principle. The open-close principle says that an object should be open for extension and closed to modifications. That means once you write code for that class, it should never really change, except you should be able to extend it in new ways. You should be able to write new code that plugs into that former code and provides new functionality, a lot like the strategy pattern. And that's why we're always focusing, and almost I'm kind of harping on things that we never want to be tied down to a specific class or type. We always want to have the ability to plug new stuff in and not be tied down. So just like in strategy, we don't want to inject, well, just like in strategy, we don't want to use just a specific type of weapon like a sword. We want to use an interface like weapon, and we want to be able to inject it into classes. But we're going to do the same thing with our singletons. We don't want to be tied down to a specific implementation of a singleton. We want to be able to inject those. So let's make our game a little bit different to show this as an example. We're going to give our game a start method. And in here we're going to say game equals game1, new game. In fact, we're just going to take a lot of this code and move it out of the static method into an object method. And so now we want to be able to get away from using these concrete implementations. Because what if we want to play the game in different ways? What if somebody forgets to stock the arsenal and it's empty, or if it's only half full? What if we pass in an arsenal? So we could say arsenal.getInstance. And of course we don't have a constructor for that yet, but if we press Alt-Enter, it's going to give us the option of creating one. Of course we don't have this, but it's definitely going to give us the option of creating one as well. Okay, great. We created this new game, and now we can use the pattern Dependency Injection to inject our arsenal so we're not dependent on a concrete type. And the big advantage that this gives us, instead of using singletons, we can use Dependency Injection, and it will make it much easier to test, as well as make our code much more extensible in the future.